What's up, friends? Welcome back to Books and Data with Lady O. I am on a journey to complete my Bachelor's of Science in Data Science, and along the way, I have been recording my journey and said you all can come right along with me. So this is real time, what Lady O be doing on a daily, and I really do enjoy using my love of reading to bring you all bush, bookish examples for how I'm learning to manipulate, utilize, and all things with data because the best way we can learn is by making it fun. So, with that said, if you are a book nerd slightly like me, or if you are thinking about possibly jumping into data science or going back to school or are in school and need just a little homework background noise, I'm your girl and so happy you're here. So, let's go ahead and dive right on in. So, for the next few weeks, we are diving into data structures for problem solving. That is the course I'm currently in. And the discussion question for the week was a pretty fun, pretty straightforward one. I enjoyed it. So, what we were doing is we had to explain what is the difference between singly linked list and doubly linked list. We also had to provide an example of a situation in which we would use a singly linked list over a doubly linked, and where would you use a doubly linked over a singly linked list? So, before we jump right on into that, for those of you who may not be aware, let me just give you the quick rundown, okay? So, what a singly linked list is. Basically, how it works is each book, we're using bookish examples, right? Okay, so um, yeah, let's go with that. We're using bookish examples because, books and data with Lady O. Okay. So think of it like this. You have a series of your books, right? You have a whole book series. And I decided to go with the two series I went with for my example was the Timeless series by Gabrielle Meyer. I've only read the first one and I cannot wait to jump in the second one. It's going to be a glorious day. Right now, we are still currently in middle grade March, so I cannot wait until April. Yes, I will be getting right back to the Timeless series. I'm so excited. And then I went ahead and took a little bit of a step back in time for my other series, and that was the Alistair Audley Trilogy series, and that is by the wonderful Georgette Heyer. And yes, that is a very old series, but Lady O loves some Regency. So that is my two series that I decided to go with for this example. Okay, so now that you have the two series, remember, here we go. A singly linked list is basically each book within the series, or what, as far as we're talking about code, is known as a node, N-O-D-E, node. Okay, so with a singly linked list, each book only knows what the next book in the line of that series is, right? Okay, so you can only move forward in a singly linked list, but you cannot go backwards. Okay, so when you're reading the Timeless series, for example, a singly linked list would be very appropriate to implement as far as if we were talking in coding terms of why that would be best. And why do you ask? Well, so if we move forward and skip up just a little bit, a doubly linked list, each book or node, N-O-D-E, is able to go both ways, right? So you can go forwards and backwards. You can basically they reference each other, and you can jump back and forth, and no matter where you are within your series, each book will be able to reference each other and you won't get lost. So you can jump around rather easily, okay? And you could read the books out of order. Now, for the Alistair Audley trilogy with Georgette Heyer, that is absolutely, that was fun. Okay, that is absolutely available. So, like, for example, I read These Old Shades, but say if I wanted to go to, um, hmm, I do believe I probably want to go to Regency Buck in the next book I want to read. There is one in here that's called Devil's Club, but I don't know if I'm actually going to read that. I have no idea what it is actually about, but I absolutely found these old shades just simply amusing. So I think I might kind of keep in that range and move along to Regency Buck next. Anywho, what I'm saying is I could jump around in the books within these series and there wouldn't be any spoilers for me as far as going through that series. However, when it comes to reading Timeless, oh, this spoon, oh, I just left it. Okay. When it comes to reading Timeless, just by reading the first book alone, I can absolutely tell you're going to want to read these in order because obviously if you don't know, what's happening is it's a family of women where the ability to time hop passes from generation to generation through daughters, okay, through the girls. So when that happens, well, oh, I can't even, no spoilers. Anyways, so for this particular family, it passes through the ability to time jump passes through the girls, right? So basically, we're following a line, multiple generations of a family. And if you don't know about the Timeless series, I'll give you the very quick rundown. So basically, what happens is, woman is born, woman gets a mark, fancy mark, that she is a time hopper. So basically, from birth, oh my goodness, could you just imagine from birth, she grows up in two different time zones? Holy crap. Could you imagine as a babe, like waking up next to one mom one day, and then the next day you're waking up to a whole nother mom, but you have to live through both of these timelines up until your 21st birthday? Could you imagine as a child? I mean, as an adult, I might find it amusing, but as a child, like, oh my goodness, I just could not imagine having to endure the different types of parenting styles, the different timelines of living. For example, in the first book, we were in colonial America, and then fast forward, we're in the Gilded Age. So, and one area, in colonial times, not necessarily poor, but very much simpler way of life. Where if we jump forward to the Gilded Age, young gal was living like privileged life. However, her mom was messed up. I'm just saying, but nonetheless. If that sounds like your jam, I promise you would love it. And it was really easy to follow along in the timelines. Okay, Lady O regressing. Y'all know how I like to ramble. Now, so as you can see, when it comes to a singly linked list, it the algorithm, the program algorithm, whatever you want to call it, only moves forward, right? Okay, doubly linked list, you can go forwards and backwards very easily. Okay, okay. Now that we've got that out of the way, let's see. The question. Okay, so my response using those two books. Okay. Now, my wonderful peer, she said briefly, I liked your examples of being able to use a book series as a way to explain doubly and singly linked list. Thank you so very much. I appreciate it. A book series like Wheel of Time by Robert Jordan and Brander Sanderson's, my goodness, Brander Sanderson's World. I have not have I don't have the audacity to jump into Brandon Sanderson's world just yet. Like, so currently, right now, Lady O has a toddler, and Brandon Sanderson's world is pretty vast. And I don't think I can dedicate myself because I have like a bit of OCD. So I really like to be able, when I'm reading through series, to follow along with characters. And those books are some chunkers. So, yeah, I'm going to have to think about it. You guys let me know. Should I jump into it or not? And then she also mentioned the Wheel of Time. Now, here's the question. I was thinking an array might work better for these because the different books and contexts fall into various buckets. Very great insight, I think. I see where she's going and I enjoyed it. Okay. They jump into various buckets. From there can be singly or doubly linked. Yes, you are correct. What are your thoughts on a book series that is more spread out and expansive? So basically, what my peer is asking me is, can I provide some insights onto which list or which process program do I think would work better for a much more vast world, because let's think about it, the Timeless series, let's see, how many does the Timeless series have right now? Timeless series, we only got about 6 books, right? And then the trilogy with Georgette Heyer, let's see, there's 4. So yeah, that's a pretty small window, not too much, but I've got a fun project for us to do. We are going to let's go Python and make it. And I could not think of a better vast book series than, you all probably know where I'm going. There are 66 books in this series, and we are going to find out which list works best. Let's go. All right, friends, if you did not guess by these 66 books, we will be using the Bible as our example for making an array. We're going to go with our peer's suggestion and see how all comes out. I do like where she is going with it, especially the different types of buckets. So I couldn't think of a better book than the Bible to utilize this, because as you know, there are multiple types of books within the Bible, and they all fit into a certain type of category. You have the law, you have church history, you have prophecy, you have poetry, you have the epistles, the letters. So there's plenty to go through. There's wisdom. Now, I have my handy dandy desk buddy up, ChatGPT. I am going to get started by grabbing that list with all the books in it, because I'm not going to type all that out. There's no need to, right? We're not going to get carpal tunnel. So I have got my prompt ready. All right, and let's just go ahead and pop my prompt in. So, hey chat, create a Python list of the entire Bible with the type of book using the following format. And as you all know, it's best to prompt your desk buddy as much as possible, because if I didn't say one, Python, it could have spit out anything, using C++, Java, whatnot. And also, I need it in that format because, again, we're working with an array, and we'll learn about that in just a minute. So here we go. Let's go, hot diggity dog. Woohoo! Hurrah! Ooh! I even love how it really went down there. It said Pauline epistles. How about that? Great. So this organizes the Bible by category. Now, it is a Revelation is apocalyptic. I don't know. Me personally, I kind of, well, I guess you can't necessarily go with major, like when it comes to prophecy, I think I would prefer like putting like Isaiah and Revelation, Daniel, all of those, Ezekiel even. Yeah. Like I would prefer prophecy in general being one category, but got our standard Sunday school wrap going here, so I'm okay with that. Okay, now let's go ahead, and we need to copy this code, and we are going to jump right on over. I don't know what happened. It died. Okay. Anyways, we are going to take this code and we're going to jump over to Replit. And if you don't know what that is, you're going to find out tonight. Okay, let's go. All right, friends, if you did not guess by these 66 books, we will be using. Okay, friends, so grab my code. We are here on Replit, and basically what Replit is a web-based platform where anyone can grab a free account and instantly begin writing code without any kind of setup, startup, anything. You can just jump in, pick your language, and get started. It's pretty awesome. If you have access to LinkedIn Learning, this is always the place I go when I'm doing like the coding practice, or for school to test out code or what have you. Anyways, great resource, free resource to get you started if interested. Now, so we have our list, and just going back to what my peer was saying is she wants to know what were my thoughts on using the array list type to work a bit better because on a more expansive series with books that fall into various types of buckets, I'm totally down for that. And I do feel that I stick with what I know. So the Bible, there's multiple buckets, multiple types. Now I'm going to start off by going back to what I said earlier. So the major, minor, and apocalyptic prophecies, I believe, can all just be grouped into one bucket. They can be grouped into one prophetic bucket. So let's go ahead and try to do that. So first we need to create a new bucket, right? So we're going to go pretty simple. We'll just say prophetic. Can we spell? Yes, we can spell. Yay! Prophetic books equal. What are our prophetic books? First thing we need to do is we have to access our table of contents library. We have to access this object, which is the books of the Bible. So, books of the Bible. Great. Okay. Now, what we need to do is grab each one of our list. And the best thing about when we categorized all these, instead of having to write out Isaiah, Jeremiah, Lamentations, Ezekiel, Daniel, Hosea, and so on, we can simply just call these lists, okay? And then we're going to join them all together here in a moment. So here we go. We've got our books of the Bible, and first things first, we need, not curly, we need our square brackets. Great. And it looks like it already knows where I'm going with this, so that's good. So we're going to go ahead, type out major prophets, minor prophets. Good job. Okay. Plus, what? We also need, it almost called me, right? There are, Jesus does speak some prophecies in the Gospels. I can agree with that. So we'll go ahead and do, just because I don't want the AI to think that it's doing too much stuff correctly, because then it'll try to take over my code. So that's one thing when you're working with AI. Don't let the AI take over your code. It's better to type your things out, and I keep doing that with the curly brackets. It's better to type your things out where you can. And but another thing that's pretty awesome, you see, we have you can use the dynamic function in there, so that's nice. Now, it did try to call up church history, which is in Acts. I personally don't recall any books or any time in Acts where we had prophecy, so I'm not going to insert that one, me personally. And now one more square bracket, and looky there, apocalyptic. Good job. Okay, great. So we have all the books now are in the single variable, and see, it's even nice how it lists that. It's in a variable called prophetic books. So great, we created a new variable. Woohoo! Now, what I want to do. Yeah, sure. Let's play around. So at first it's got print prophetic, and now you can see how easy it is to just instantly go ahead and start writing code. Yeah, so you see here, it went ahead and typed out. Very good. Every single book that is inside our categories or buckets of prophetic books, which is really nice. Okay, now I want to do something just a little bit different. So let's type out, let's try an if statement. So we have our prophetic books just randomly typed out there. That's cool. So, let's see, I want it to print. So what I really don't like is the brackets, all that. I don't like that. We can make it a little bit cleaner. And going back over to W3 schools, I'm also able to pull up some different syntax that I could use. So for example, we could use the join function to print out our list and make it just a little cleaner. And I also want to say, hey, go ahead and put, yep, see, there it goes again, already calling what I'm doing. It's really annoying. Okay, that's not annoying. That's really awesome. That's the power of AI, which is okay. And that's another good thing about using Replit is if you're a new coder, um, honestly, the computer can kind of guide you all the way through the code, which I think is pretty cool. Okay, so we're going to tell computer, hey, I need you to put a comma in between all of the items in. Now we're going to join. Okay, we're going to join our what? Yeah, just use your proper syntax there. We'll go ahead and give it this one. So we're going to join the prophetic books and close off that bracket. Cool. Now what do we want it to do? Wait a minute. No, I'm right. Okay, we're still going right. Okay, so plus. Now let's just make it a little bit more what do I want to tell you guys about prophetic books? Okay. Let's see. Print. Let's go backwards with it. So that's going to be the end. So print, and let's start at the beginning. I'm going to make a string. Okay. So let's go ahead. We need our commas because I'm making a string. Did you know the following books in the Bible are all prophecies? Yeah, did we spell that right? Did I spell prophecies right? If I didn't, you guys don't judge me, okay? And then, whoop, big symbol. And then here's a fun thing. So about 2 years ago, I did a class called Bible Challenges with YouTuber called Alan Parr. I will link his channel below. He is a great teacher and disciple on the internet if you are looking to dive deeper into the word. Now, so from one of his classes, did you know the following books in the Bible are all prophecies? Boom. And we don't need to say and, that's not grammatically correct, but that's okay. 300 prophecies, 300 of those prophecies are about Jesus and have all been fulfilled. Hallelujah. Okay, let's run it. Whoops. We forgot to close something. Let's fix that. Where to close? Okay, right here on the end. So you see, we have our open bracket, and then we have our join prophetic books, and then we never closed it. So that's an easy fix. Let's hope it's an easy fix. All right. We closed it. Did you know? Run. Ah, we are missing. Oh my goodness. How silly. That's silly. So after the print, we still must create our little shell here. So we're going to do this shell, and we made a string, right? And then same way that I was going to do it earlier, we had that plus sign. So we need to add the plus sign back. Okay. Run. Yay! What is that? The most recent last call. I don't know. Did you know? I wonder why. Well, I may not be able to put this at the front. I don't know, but we have to fix it. So let's try calling on the back end. Look, you guys are getting real life, real time. Lady O be messing up some stuff, trying to be extra. I should have just stuck with the plan at the beginning, but that's okay. Okay, so we have our print. Okay, and then we need to put this one. I say, yeah, a plus needs to go there. Okay, and I believe we need to close this last bracket. Remember, we already learned that lesson. So let's make sure we're tapped outside. We are, and close that bracket. Okay, let's see what happens. Yay! Okay, that worked. And see, it got rid of all the brackets and crazy things. That's really strange though. So I really want to know how I can call it and do it at the end. And that's going to be probably the next thing that Lady O works on is how can I write a clean code that lets me write whatever I want and call the what would you call this variable at the end. I don't know if we can do that, but yes. Okay, now last thing we need to be able to show is, ew, this has a thing, it's smushed together. I think it's because it's being extra. I gotta put a space. Let's see if it does that. Yay. Okay, that fixed it. And then I think I also want to have a period. Great. So now I added a little period. And did you know the following books in the Bible are all prophecies? 300 of those prophecies are about Jesus and have all been fulfilled. Hallelujah. Amen. Okay. We are making some progress. So the last thing I kind of just want to play around with in the array is, so we can see that I can make another category using array. I can make another bucket, and actually a lot more simpler. It's a lot more simpler to make a bucket this way than using single or doubly linked lists. Those codes, they're rather long and labor intensive, and the longer the code, the more easier it is for something to break. So that annoys me. Okay. Now we're going to go back to our W3 schools, and I want to go to Python list because this is a form of a list. And the last thing I just need to double check as far as the capability of using an array for going forward and backwards, I said that I definitely prefer a doubly linked list because it has the ability to go forward and backward. Now, when I'm looking here at the syntax in list and arrays, I mean, they're both kind of pulling up the same thing for me. It says here that I can definitely do a reverse order of list. So there is a reverse order of list. So you always want to remember, I'm going to tell the computer this in order. So computer, here are my prophetic books. Thank you very much. So you have the list. Perfect. Now I want you to, let's see. That's not it. Let me get the correct syntax. It's like something. Yes. Okay. So I need to first do the list. So we're going to do, and what list am I going to call? I'm going to call the prophetic, there it goes, prophetic books. And then it has a period. And then, oh, look at that. It pops up all the functions that it needs. Oh my goodness. Y'all, there's so many. Whew. Okay, we're going to do reverse. Okay. So, oh, and then we have to keep our brackets. And I don't need to place anything here because I just want it to reverse this list. I don't need anything else. So let's see what it does. Run. So Revelation, John, Luke, Mark, Matthew, Malachi, Zechariah, Haggai, Zephaniah, Habakkuk. Yep, we're good. Okay, it reversed it. So that functionality works good. Let's see. Anything else we want to try to call? Okay, friends. Last thing we're going to do to wrap up this very long video. I'm so sorry. Thank you if you've stayed with me this long. I love you so very much. Okay, last thing we're going to do is I want to try the append function because one thing with doubly linked list is it's pretty easy to append something beginning or end, but of course it may take a little bit of time trying to do things in the middle. You have to scooch some things around. But let's see how this works in our array. So I can pretty much keep this part and I'm just going to take out reverse and we're just going to add append. A-P-P. I just love how it does that. Okay. And what do we want to append? We'll do what the computer tried to do earlier just for sake of argument. It tried to tell us that history history, new, good job. There you go. It tried to tell us that history, New Testament was actually a part of prophecies, which, well, we know it's not. Well, I'm not going to say we know it's not. I'm going to say I don't know that for certain. That's a better word to say. I don't know that for certain because I haven't studied I guess I haven't studied it deeply enough to find the connection, me personally. Okay, so there we go. Nope, it didn't close the bracket. Close the bracket so we don't have it fighting with us again. Okay, now we've got it and don't really want to change anything else. Cool, run that. Let's see. Did you know Revelation, History, New Testament? And it did. It simply added it on the end. No problem. So there you have it. I will tell my wonderful peer in class. Actually, I do firmly agree with you that if we are talking about using a more expansive book series, that an array would be much more efficient and clean in terms of writing code, reorganizing that structure. Because what we spent about 30 minutes going through this singular example. But say, for example, if you want to take the epistles and group all those together, right? Because you have, right, they're separated out by Pauline, as in written by Paul, and your general epistles. Say if you just wanted to group those all together into one, you could definitely do that. Another thing here, they have history going from Joshua to Esther. If we wanted to group history all together, so history from the Old Testament plus New Testament church history acts, we could definitely do that. Yeah, you could definitely get a lot more bang for your buck using an array list. So I absolutely agree. And thank you so much for the challenge, giving me a chance to get some more coding done. And why the big why behind all this? Okay. So the big why behind understanding list in general, is that they're very foundational to any code. As you can see, like this is just a foundation type code. Like there's so much more you can go into aside from grouping these lists, especially within the programming area. If we're talking about data analysis for me specifically, there's a few things that I could do within data analysis to with using list. Honestly, you can use list for really anything. You can use list for whatever you want. There's a good way for to-do lists, so it can be done in programming, it can be done in data science, it can be done in real life. Okay, if you wanted to write down your daily Bible reading plan and check you off a list, you can do that within Python. So this was a fun exercise, and I'm starting to ramble, so I'm going to get off here now. Thank you all so very much for joining me on my homework adventure. Now I just need to go type up everything that we just talked about, hit submit, and we are done for the night. And again, if you enjoy these journeys, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, stick around. I usually upload once a week and always either books or data or books and data, as you've seen tonight. So again, thank you all so very much. Be blessed. Have a good night. Bye.